Our absolute pleasure to welcome the man on the front lines for this country coming up in South Korea from Team Canada, the one and only Mr. Andrew Ebbett. Thanks so much for joining us, man.
Hey, right on. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely, buddy. This has been a year, an Olympics unlike any other in recent memory, with the NHL backing off and not wanting to partake. How did you hear about the news originally that not only were you going to get a chance to play, but you were in?
I think the chance probably came last year at the Spengler Cup. We kind of it was a different feeling kind of around the room and the tournament. I think everyone kind of knew that it was almost like a first impression, and there was maybe a chance that guys could go to the Olympics, and then it just kind of started with a whirlwind from there, getting invited to go to the Sochi camp in August and play there. And then, I don't know, the whole season, it's helped having Mason Raymond and Max Thoreau here in Bern with me. It's been three of us, so we can talk about it all the time. And the last 3 days before selections was pretty nerve-wracking for myself. I wasn't sure. I kept telling everybody I think I was 50-50. I didn't know either way. And I got the call from Sean Burke. I was actually downtown Bern. And it was an incredible feeling. It was awesome. It was almost more of a relief after 3 days of being stressed out, just pacing around my apartment.
Right. So you get this relief, and again, I know that feeling all too well. All that work that you go through to finally represent your country, and I think moving into an Olympics, what do you get most excited about? So now you're in. You get that call. What are you looking forward to the most come in a couple weeks?
Personally, I think it's that game, that first game you're looking forward to playing. And I mean, you got the opening ceremonies, you got everything going the first few days. But I think once that game starts and I think sitting in that dressing room with everybody right before, and you're about to set off on this journey, I think that's going to be just a crazy feeling. And then my favorite parts, I think, is going to see my parents and my sister there. I can't believe they're actually flying to South Korea to come watch me play hockey, but they said 100% they're in right from the start, and to have them there after kind of everything they've gone through and supported me my whole career, it's going to be awesome.
That's super cool, man. And speaking of flying over, let's go over the game plan here for the next couple weeks. Before the games begin, you're in Switzerland right now. What's the plan to get you to South Korea from here?
Oh, well, it's going to be a busy week here coming up. We have 3 games still this week for my club team here in Burns. We play tomorrow night on the road, and then Friday on the road, and Saturday at home. And then Max and Mason and I have a 8 a.m. flight on Sunday from Zurich to Riga, Latvia. And there's a game actually Sunday night against, I think, Belarus. And then another game on Tuesday against Latvia. And then I believe we fly Wednesday afternoon as a team from Riga right into Seoul. So it's going to be a busy next 9-10 days here.
Sweet.
No doubt. Now you talk about, thankfully you've got a couple guys, that you've played with on your team there. So you're kind of used to that feeling. But now going into an Olympics, you're going to be with a bunch of guys that you've never really played with before. Is there any prep that you got to go through beforehand? And then when you land there, what types of focus will you guys be on to make sure that when you guys, get to that first game you talk about, how do you hit the ice running, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a short tournament. You've seen it before where it's like momentum is huge. So I think Sean Burke and everyone with Team Canada has done a great job with all these pre-tournaments. I mean, most of the guys, I think, except for maybe 1 or 2 I've played with this year in a tournament. So I think they've done a good job keeping guys together and kind of trying to work out some lines. So I think maybe that gives us a head start. I think the challenging part is that teams like Sweden and Finland and Czech Republic, they've been doing this for years. They play national team breaks 3-4 times a year. So I think it's up just to us, maybe that 12-hour flight. There's a chance right there to do a little bonding somehow or get together. And I know the guys that are in the KHL they got there, I think, yesterday into Riga, so they have all week. So I think Mason and Max and I and the Swedish League guys will be having to do some catch-up there early next week.
I'm pretty sure booze is free on international flights, so So giddy up. And then once you land, actually, I can tell you this from experience. We had a stopover in Seoul last year. Excellent Taco Bell in that airport. So you obviously want to have some of the local cuisine. There's a Taco Bell waiting for you right there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So I mean, you definitely don't want to do it the other way. You don't have Taco Bell and then sit on the plane for 12 hours. So, but so you know some of the guys on your team, and that's excellent. That definitely helps. When it comes to scouting out the other guys, I mean, people here in North America that are just straight NHL fans, they're a little lost here. They're not quite sure who's going to be repping the other countries and whatnot. How much homework have you done, and how confident do you feel going up against these other clubs?
Well, it's been tough. You know some guys in this league, but I think it's tough when you're so busy. We've been playing this break. Our league's taken February off, so we've been playing every Tuesday, Friday, Saturday since the start of the season, it seems. So, but we've had some really good games in Helsinki, and we saw Finland and Sweden look really strong. They have a lot of chemistry together, and the guys have played the Russian teams a couple times. So it's definitely going to be tough. I mean, I think Russia, you maybe put them as a favorite. The guys got like Datsuk and Kovalchuk, and then I think it's going to be a great tournament because you don't really know. There's so much competition. I mean, you look at there's probably five teams that have a chance to win the gold medal. So, like I said earlier, I think it's that momentum thing where you got to come and you got to gel at the right time. You got to have a hot goaltender, and the team that kind of gets that momentum early and rides it through the tournament, that's going to be the team that wins it, I think.
For sure. Now, we've talked a bit about on the ice, and now with your family coming over, is there any other things you want to do off the ice? Have you ever been to Korea or know anything about it? Or what else are you looking forward to? Maybe watching some other events? What other things have you thought about as far as the other experience you want to soak in while you're over there?
Yeah. I haven't done too much homework. I was actually thinking about doing this week here, get ready, and really want to get to some other events. I think I've heard from other people. You always see interviews and stuff from previous Olympics, and they say how much fun it is to wear your Canadian gear and go to support another athlete, and you get to meet some of them in the Olympic Village, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And I've told my parents, I mean, this is probably the only time they're ever going to get over to South Korea, so they're going to stay in Seoul, and I told them to make sure they don't stick around the hotel too much. Get out, see it, try the different food. I know my dad's excited for that, and I have two of my buddies from college that are coming out too. So if I can kind of meet up with them and see some different events, and it's going to be a whirlwind, I think. Try to fit in as much as I can, but then you also have to focus on the games and make sure you're at your top level for those too.
Right on, buddy. Last question for you before we wrap up. And of course, I want to bug you throughout the Olympics as well. If you're available, I'm sure your schedule's going to be pretty tight, but we'll see. You went undrafted. You played with a few different clubs in the NHL. You've gone over to Europe. Now, I mean, you're representing your country in the Winter Olympics. Like, this is unbelievable. And especially for a guy that like similar to Jay's story, went from the bottom up. What kind of advice do you have for a kid out there that's kind of against the odds, trying to get going in hockey? Maybe he missed his draft year or something like that, just looking for a chance to get in there. I mean, you've definitely gone from the salmon arm silverbacks, if I got the Wikipedia down right. So from there to the absolute pinnacle of sport. What advice do you have for the next generation coming up?
I always say my nephew's playing and he's 9 years old. He's in Cochrane. I tell him all the time just to have fun. I go have fun and keep working hard. I mean, I guess I'm there. I was never really the best player on my team. I just kind of kept grinding through, and I have a lot of fun playing hockey. It's don't make it a job. I mean, I played 4 years at Michigan. Was happy doing that. Thought maybe I'd get a few games in the American League. Coach Berenson said, "Yeah, maybe you'll play pro, but have a plan that you're not going to go that far or that long." And played on the American League and an American League contract, and got a contract from Anaheim, and kind of just didn't know if I'd ever play in the NHL. And then I got that game, and then I just really had fun doing it. There's no better way to do it. I've played with guys that, when they were growing up, they were shooting 500 pucks a day and working out 7 days a week, and you get tired of it. It turns into a job. So I mean, I'm 35 now, and I just got to the dream to play in the Olympics. So it's pretty crazy, and I've really just enjoyed the whole run and the experience.
That's super cool, buddy. And we're so stoked for you. We can't wait to see you out there. And I should say, I mean, I've said the salmon arm silverbacks aren't the pinnacle. That's pretty good. You got to ride around the province on a bus, and now you're going first class to South Korea. It's a big jump, though. We're stoked for you, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's awesome. It's been a wild ride. It's a lot of fun in Salmon Arm, and then playing in Vancouver for the Canucks for those 2 years was something that I never ever thought would have happened. So I got a lot of fun memories for sure.
Well, let's add a few more, man. Best of luck to you. Travel safe, and check out that Taco Bell. Thanks so much for coming on.
All the best.
Okay, thank you. We'll talk to you guys hopefully from South Korea in a couple weeks.
I'll be bugging you.
Get 'em.
Thanks, buddy.